Hello students, today we are going to discuss the email. All of you are familiar with the email, that is full form is the electronic mail. All of we are sending the messages using email nowadays. It is very common thing. But today we are going to discuss the architecture of email, how our mail will be transmitted from one user to the another user, right? So before discussing the email, I will discuss little bit the terminology that will tell you in detail later, right? So first thing I want to discuss, that is we will use the three type of agents when we use to send the mail. One is the user agent, second is the message transfer agent MTA, third is the message access agents. I am just telling you the names here. I will not discuss in the detail because I will tell you later, right? In that case, these agents I show you in the four scenarios how it works. First we will discuss how it works, and later we will do what is a user agent and examples of user agent, what will be the message transfer agent, which protocol is used for message transfer agent, which protocol is used for a message access agent. That we will do one by one. First we will discuss where these agents in work in the four scenarios. We will while doing the four scenarios, we will able to understand how our email will be sent from one user to the another user. We are using the four scenarios. These scenarios are in increasing order of complexity. Last scenario is most commonly used nowadays, right? In first scenario, what happened? We have the one sender. Here Alice is a sender and Bob is the receiver, right? And this is the UA, user agent. That here we have one system. In this system we have some portion of the disk that will be accessed by the different users, right? That particular part will not accessed by the another user, right? First thing. Second thing, both users are connected with the same system. When Alice will send the mail, that will be stored, for example, Alice is sending the mail to Bob. When Alice will send the mail, that will be stored in the Bob mailbox portion that is accessed by only the Bob. No other persons can access that particular mailbox, right? Now I want to tell you about the user agent. User agent is a basic program you require to send the mail that you are using. User agent is responsible for sending the mail, preparing the mail, reply the mail, whatever things you do in the mailbox, that is done with the help of user agent. Or you can say, when you write www.gmail.com, you open the mail, after that whatever work is done by the program, that is the user agent, you can say, right? Second thing, this is the second scenario. See the difference carefully, right? I am explaining it. See the difference carefully. Here what I am saying, we have the one system, both sender and receiver are using that system, but the different portion as a mailbox. Here, second scenario, both sender and receiver are connected with the mail server. किससे connect है? Mail server से, right? Of course, both need the user agent, right? Here we need the pair of user agent. Apart that, we need one message transfer agent. What we need? We need the message transfer agent, MTA agent, which will send the message on the internet, through the internet, right? So what we need? Two pair of user agent, one MTA client which will transfer the message, one MTA server which will receive the message on the behalf of Bob, right? So we need the one pair of MTA client and server and one pair of user agents, two user agents and MTA client and server. Remember that, students. In next scenario, what happened? We see the difference. The sender connected with the mail server with the help of LAN or WAN, whereas receiver is directly connected to the mail server, right? In that case, user agent required by both, MTA client and server required by both. We need one more pair of MTA client and server. With the help of that, user agent will send the mail through LAN or WAN to the mail server. Here we require two user agent and two pair MTA client and server. Last one is the last scenario is a very common scenario that is used nowadays, right? In last scenario, what happened? Both are connected to the mail server using LAN and WAN, right? Both need the user agent. When sender want to send the mail to the mail server, one MTA client server agent, sender want to send the mail through internet to the particular receiver, again MTA client and server, right? And we need one more MAA client and server pair. What is MAA client and server pair? I told you in the first slide, that is the message access agents, right? That is the message access agent. We need two user agents, two pairs of MTA client and MTA server, one pair of MAA client and MAA server. I will tell you one more terminology. When you send the mail to MTA client to MTA server, that called client push the message. That called client push the message. When MAA server, or you can say MAA client, receiving the message from the MAA server, that means MAA client pull the message from the server. Here client pushes the message, here client pulling the message, right? We will use this terminology later in detail. Now, what is the user agent? That I already told you. This user agent is responsible for composing message, reading message, replying message, forwarding message, handling mailbox, whatever work we done on the mail, right? User agent program that do all the work. It is of two types. You have not seen command driven, that used long time back, right? In that case, if you want to reply the mail, then you press the R, or if you want to send the message to particular sender on the you will type that commands on the command prompt, right? And second one is the GUI. Outlook is very popular user agent that are used many users, right? But nowadays it is less used, but previously it is used very much. Now, what is the email format when we are sending the mail? Of course, you have the address, we have some header, you see, and your email body, right? So, in header, what you first have? Email ID. Email ID is divided into two parts. One is the mailbox address, second one is the domain name. First one is the mail address, second one is the domain name, right? And in that case, we also use one more protocol, supplementary protocol, which helps you to send the message. For mail, we will use basically SMTP, MIME. MIME is used for transmitting the data, converting your data at the sender end as well as the receiver end. POP, IMAP. These four protocols we will use. So, first we will discuss the MIME. What is the MIME full form? Multi-purpose Internet Main Extension. That is basically standard proposed by Bell Communication in 1991. Right, I already told you this is the supplementary protocol. What is the work of MIME? Its work is converting the non-ASCII data to the ASCII format, right? What it will do? It convert your non-ASCII data at the sender side to the NVT 7-bit data, right? We have already discussed NVT in the Telnet protocol in last lecture, right? And at the receiver end, it will be transmitted to vice versa. Here user agent send the non-ASCII data, MIME convert into the 7-bit NVT ASCII data, at the receiver end that will be converted again, right? What is the feature of MIME? You can see that detail also in your mail. You open just one mail, after the reply icon you will have 3 dots. Click on 3 dots, then you have one option show original. In that case you see the all header detail of your mail. In that you can search for MIME also, right? And you can also analyze your header, right? These are the features of MIME. You can send the multiple attachment, message length will be unlimited, you can send the images, audio, video, everything. Basically MIME is work with the SMTP and POP. SMTP we will do in detail also. Here I am just telling you this is the message transfer agent, POP is message access agents. In MIME header we have some information, that is the MIME version. I told you that you will see that in show original. You search for MIME, then you will get to know. Here we are using the MIME version 1. Now what is the content type? Which type of content you are sending in the mail, right? After that we have the content type and coding. Which type of data you are sending? For example 7-bit encoding, 8-bit encoding, that you will specify in that. After that content ID. Content ID is the ID, that is the unique ID that will be given to each message. Last we have the content description. What actually your email body contains, image, video or audio. Students, if it is advised to see the show original ones in the mail by clicking on 3 dots, after that you have the show original option, that will help you most. Thank you students.